Hello everybody and welcome back. Today I have another dice bag tutorial for you. This one is the Eye of the Beholder dice bag, or it's just an eyeball, right? However you want to look at it. Right, so this is another dice bag tutorial, similar to the last one I did. So if you can handle that one, you can definitely handle this one. Right, you can also use this for more than just dice. You can use it as a coin purse, you can use it to hold little things. Right, just a cute little bag. Take a look on the inside there. Right, and it holds quite a bit. So you could probably hold several sets of dice in this. Okay? So for this project, you are going to need a yarn needle, a 5mm crochet hook, or a size H. Let's see if you can get that. Go. We'll also need scissors or something to cut the yarn with. And optionally, you may want to have a 6.5mm crochet hook, or one of the larger ones. Alright, but this is optional, you could just use this one instead. We'll get to that later. Alright, and we will be working in the round. So if you've never done that before, I'm going to go through carefully step by step to show you how to do that, or you can go back to the last D&D dice bag tutorial that I did, work on that one, and then work on this one, because this is a slight step up. It's not too bad, but it is a slight step up. Okay, you will also need black yarn for the center of the dice bag. Okay. And then you will need a color for the iris. I used orange, right, but you can use any color that you want for this. You will need white, and you will need red. Red's gonna get cut off here. And all of my yarn here is worsted weight, and is either the mainstays, let's see. Yeah, it's not like expensive yarn. I think I got this from Walmart. Right, or it's the Red Heart yarn, right? I just found that this yarn works best for holding the shape of the dice bag. But I am using worsted weight or 4-ply yarn, so just keep that in mind. You might need to change your hook size if you're using a different weight yarn or a different brand. Sometimes the weight can change depending on the brand, it's not all consistent. Okay, so with that being said, let's dive right in. Okay, so the first thing that you are going to want to do is start with your black yarn. Okay, so get your black yarn, grab your 5mm crochet hook, and we are going to start in the center of the dice bag here with the pupil, and then we are going to work outwards in the round until we get to the end. Okay, so you will grab your black yarn, but in order for you to see what I'm doing, I'm going to be using this rainbow colored yarn so that the camera picks up my stitches. Right, but you will be using your black yarn. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is start with either a slip knot or a magic circle. I prefer using slip knots, but you can use a magic circle if that's what you prefer. Always make sure to leave long enough tail so that when you leave it in, it's secure. You don't want your dice falling out. So take the slip knot, put it on your hook. First thing that you're going to want to do is chain 1. So we did our slip knot, chain 1, and then you're going to want to put 8 half double crochets inside of the slip knot. Okay. So if you're not sure what a half double crochet is, that is when you wrap once. Let's see if I can do this. The first one's always tough. Back into your slip knot, pull through. So now you should have 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over, and then pull through all 3. Again, the first one's always a little tough. Right? So that's your first half double crochet. It's going to look a little weird at first. Now you're going to want to do 7 more, and I just pulled out my slip knot a little bit to make it a little bit easier. Okay, so do 7 more of those. Again, wrap, go through the slip knot, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 3. Okay, and I chose to use the half double crochet for this one because it gives a very thick stitch, and so it gives the dice bag very good structure. So it holds its shape very well. Okay, so that's 3. Gotta do 5 more, and then I'll see you back once I have 8. Okay, so now I have 8 half double crochets inside of my slip knot. So now you have something that looks like a heart. You want to close this so it makes a circle. So here's our chain 1 space from before. We want to skip over that and go to the top of the first half double crochet stitch. So go through both of those top loops. Okay. Through. You want to make a slip stitch in the top. Now this is just a little weird thing that I do. You don't have to do it, just makes it a little bit easier for me. Is I always pull on my yarn and close up that slip stitch so that it gets really tiny and it's almost invisible. Okay, so now it should look like a circle. Okay, that is row 1 complete. Now for row 2, you're going to be doing increases. Okay, and then after row 2, you're going to actually cut your black yarn. Okay, so chain 1. And then you're going to put 2 half double crochets in each stitch. So we're going to look at the first stitch here. Let's see, so one right here. We're going to put 2 half double crochets inside that one stitch. So that's 1. 2. Okay, and you're going to do that all the way around until you have 16 stitches. Okay? So I'll see you back in a moment. So I just did my 16 half double crochets, and we are back at the end. So we are going to again slip stitch into the top of the first half double crochet. So again, that's our chain 1 space right here. Let me get close to the camera. This is our chain 1 space. We want to skip that. That is the top of the half double crochet that we are going to slip stitch into. And slip stitch is just going through both top loops, pulling through, and then pulling through. Okay, again, I tighten my slip stitches. It's up to you. Alright, so now at this point, you are going to chain 1 and then cut your black yarn. Right? And then just pull through and then knot it off. And you can choose to weave in your ends as you go, or you can weave in your ends at the end like I do. Okay? Then we're going to be switching to orange. Okay, so I just did it with the black yarn to show you what it should look like. It's kind of hard to see. Let's see if I can get it to focus. Maybe? Okay, but it should be about that size. So now you're going to take your iris color, which for me is the orange. Use whatever color you'd like. I always start with a slip knot. I'm going to join this onto the black. Okay, so here's the black. I usually like to join it into the same stitch that we ended off on, so here's the knot from before. I'm going to go into that same stitch. Then, to join yarn, I pull through, and I do like a slip stitch, and then I tighten my slip knot. Okay. So we just joined our orange yarn onto the pupil part of the ball. So the next step is we are going to do 2 more rows in the round of orange. We're going to be increasing still. Okay, so if you've never done that, make sure you pay attention here. So there's a pattern to it. So chain 1, you're going to half double crochet into that same stitch. Okay. And then you're going to go into the next stitch, and you're going to put 2 half double crochets into that one. So you're going to be doing a pattern of 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, all the way around. So 1 stitch, and then 2 stitches into the next stitch. So you should end this round with 24 stitches in total. So I'm going to keep doing this pattern of 1 stitch, 2 stitch, 1 stitch, 2 stitch. I'll meet you back at the end once you have 24 stitches. Alright, so we're approaching the end here, and your last stitch in the round should end with 2 stitches inside of it. Okay? So now you're going to go to the top of the first half double crochet stitch right here, and slip stitch into that, just like before. So make sure you're skipping that chain 1 space that was just to build height. Go into the top of the half double crochet, slip stitch, and pull. So that's 1 row of the orange done. I've got 1 more row of orange, and it's still increasing. So chain 1 for height, and this time you're going to do a pattern of 1, 1, 2. Alright, so that was 1 half double crochet into the same stitch, another half double crochet into the next stitch, and then 2 half double crochets in the following stitch. So it's 1, 1, 2. And you're going to repeat that all the way around, and you should end up with 32 stitches in this round. So I'll meet you back in a moment. And we're going to slip stitch into the first half double crochet for that round. And that is it for the orange. So you can again cut this off by doing chain 1 a little bit so that you have some yarn to work with at the end, and cut. Just pull through. There you go. Alright, so now let's continue on to the white section. On to the white. Now you are going to be doing, again, slip knot onto the hook, joining it onto the orange section, chain 1, and now this is going to be the last row of increasing. So we're going to keep doing half double crochets. One half double crochet into the same stitch that we jumped into. We're going to do another half double crochet to the next stitch, half double crochet into the next stitch. Then we're going to put 2 half double crochets into the following stitch. So now this pattern is 1, 1, 1, 2. Okay, so 2 half double crochets here. Now you're going to continue doing this pattern all the way around. When you get to the end, you should have 40 stitches. Alright, again, you should be ending on a set of 2 half double crochets in the same stitch. And go to the top of the first half double crochet of the round, slip stitch in, tighten. Great, so that is the first white round done. Now this is the easy part. You're going to have to do rows 6 through 9 as just half double crochets. Okay, so that's 6, 7, 8, 9. That's 4 rows of just half double crochets, so just crank that out. And it'll get started for you, so you chain 1, half double crochet into the same stitch. You just keep doing half double crochets all the way around, no more increasing. So do 4 rows of that, and if you get lost, if you lose track of counting, just remember you should be ending on row 9, so you need 9 rows in total, so you can count just the center. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're currently working on row 6. To get to row 9, then row 10 is when we're going to do something new. Okay, so I'll see you back in a moment. I just finished doing my 4 rows of half double crochet, so you should have 5 rows in total of the white yarn. Now on the next row, we're going to be decreasing. Okay, so if you've never done that before, I'm going to show you how to do it. The basic idea is you're just going to be combining 2 stitches. Okay, so I chain 1, and then you're going to do 3 half double crochets in the next 3 stitches, so 1 half double crochet. In the next stitch, you're going to do another half double crochet. 1 more. But then in the next 2 stitches, we're going to combine those together. So what I do is I wrap, I go through the front loop of the first stitch, and then I go through the back loop of the second stitch, through, then just pull through like a normal half double crochet. Okay. So you're going to continue that pattern all the way around, and then at the end of this row, you should have 32 stitches. Okay, so you're going down from 40 stitches to 32. Okay, so I'll see you back in a moment. Okay, so I'm approaching the end of the row here. I just want to show you. I just did 3 normal half double crochets. Now the next thing is going to be a decrease, so you should be ending at a round on a decrease. So you should have 2 stitches left. Okay, so then again, just go through front loop for the first one, second loop of the back loop of the second one. Okay, pull through, treat it like a normal half double crochet. Okay, and then go to the top of the first half double crochet in the round and slip stitch into the top of it. Tighten it. I'm going to do one more row in white, and it's just a row of half double crochets. Okay, so chain one for the height, and then half double crochet all the way around, so you should end up with 32 still. So half double crochet in each stitch, and I'll see you back in a minute. Okay, so I'm just slip stitching into the top of the first half double crochet around. Okay, so now we are done with the white. So you can go ahead and chain one, like that, and cut that off. We're getting there. More than halfway done, I would say. Okay, so now you're going to want to grab your red, and I'll show you what to do next. Okay, so the next step for the red is here. If you look here, see how I have like the little pieces coming down right here and here, just kind of randomly? I'm going to show you how to do that, because if you just do half double crochets around in a straight line, it just doesn't look very good, so this kind of adds a little bit of texture, a little bit of interest to the eyeball, make it look like it's more realistic, I guess. Alright, so I'm going to show you how to do that. Okay, so again, you're going to join like normal, a slip knot, to 5mm crochet hook, okay, so again, just go into the same stitch that you left off on. So, once you join, you're going to chain one, do a half double crochet into that same stitch. Okay, so now what you're going to want to do is every 1 to 3 half double crochets, you're going to do this kind of drop stitch. Okay, so you see how it's kind of random? It's up to you how often you want to do it. I just randomly choose every 1 to 3 stitches. Okay, so let's start with 2. So we're going to do 2 regular half double crochets, and then going to wrap your hook, and instead of going into this space right here, you're actually going to drop down and go into the space below. Okay? So I'll do my best to show you here. So you're going to go right here, then, so you're going to pull through like that, right? And pull up until you get to the top of the row here. Then you're actually going to do like double crochet. Okay, so you pull through 2, pull through, pull through 2. Okay, so then see how that just like drops down right there? It adds a little bit of interest to the eyeball. Alright, so continue that around, and then of course you're going to skip over right here. You're going to go to the next stitch. So let's do 2 half double crochets, 3 half double crochets. Okay, so again, this is entirely up to you how often you want to do this drop stitch. So I did 3 half double crochets, and now I'm going to drop down into the space below fold up a little bit, and treat it like a double crochet. So pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay. Then let's actually do 1 half double crochet next, and do a drop stitch here. So it's entirely up to you how often you want to do it, where you want to put them. Okay, but you're going to do that all the way around. I just think it makes it look a whole lot better than just doing thread straight across. Alright, so I'll see you at the end of this row. Okay, so I just got to the end of my row. I'm currently slip stitching through the top of the first half double crochet. Okay, tighten it. Okay, so it should look something like this. Again, yours could look slightly different because you might have chosen to do more or less of these little stitches here than me. The next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to make the little holes for the drawstring to go through. So you're going to want to chain 3. So chain 3, double crochet into the same space. And then you're going to want to chain 1, skip a stitch, and then you're going to do double crochet, double crochet. So chain 1, skip a stitch, go to the next one, double crochet into that stitch, double crochet into the next stitch. You see me like this little hole right here where my finger is. And you're going to keep repeating that chain 1, double crochet, until you get to the end of the row. Okay, so we're at the end, and it should look like this. So I just did a set of 2 double crochets followed by a chain 1. And we're going to go into the top of the chain 3 space. So here we have our chains. We have 1, 2, 3. So in that third chain, to slip stitch into that third chain. It's a little difficult. Okay. Now the last thing that I did to add a little bit more details into this bloody part of the eye is on here. You see how it's a little spiky? I'm going to show you how I did that. Very simple. So once you've done the slip stitch at the end of this, you're going to chain 1, and we're going to do kind of like a row of single crochets at the top. A little bit different. So you're going to single crochet into that same stitch that you're in. So chain 1, single crochet again. Now here, this is where you're going to chain 2, but you're not going to skip a stitch. Okay, so you just chain 2, and now this is going to be kind of like a bump. So go into the next stitch that you would normally just crochet into, and just do a single crochet. So we have this little bump. Okay, let's do another single crochet. And then once you do 2 single crochets, you're just going to chain 2. Just follow that pattern all the way around. You're not skipping any stitches. Okay, so just chain 2 again. Go to the next stitch. Single crochet. Single crochet. And chain 2. Single crochet. Okay. Right, so do that all the way around and I'll see you back in a moment. I'll show you real quick. So I'm at the end of the row. I just did 2 chains, and before you slip stitch into the top of single crochet, I just want to remind you that you got to do 2 more chains, else it's going to look a little weird. Okay, so you do single crochet, do 2 chains, and then you slip stitch into the top of the single crochet at the beginning. There we go. Tighten it, and there you have the main part of the eyeball dice bag. Okay, so we're going to chain 1, down a little bit, and cut. Go. Now the next step is going to be making these strings to go in these holes for the drawstring. Okay, so for the drawstring, this is where the larger hook is going to come in handy. Again, you could just keep using your 5mm if that's all you have, or whatever hook you're using. Okay, but I prefer to use a larger hook to make the drawstring. That's just me. So the drawstring's really easy, it's just chains. So you're going to start with a slip knot. Put it on your large hook, and then you're just going to chain about between 50 and 70 chains. It really depends on how long you want it or what size hook you're using. You just want it to be enough to wrap around. So you're going to make 2 of these. This string wraps all the way around the dice bag here, and then I tie it together at the ends. Okay, so you just want it to be long enough to be able to do that. So I think that's probably maybe like 1.5 feet long. We'll measure it once we get those chains done. Okay, so again, chain about like 50 to 70, and I'll see you back in a minute. Okay, so I went ahead and I chained 60 because I like having a long string. Let's see how long that is. Okay, measure it out. According to this, it is 20 inches long. So it's about 1.5 feet. A little bit over. Right? You just want it to be about that long. That should be long enough. And we're going to make 2. This is one of them. Which gets the end. Chain 1 again. Just cut. Pull through. To the side, make another one. Okay, so again, I did 60. If you want shorter tie, do 50. If you want it even longer, do 70. It's really up to you. So now I've got my 2 strings. We just need to weave them between the holes that we created in order to make it a drawstring. Okay? So you can do this however you would like. It's pretty straightforward. Just go into one of them. Side. So go in and out. Out. In. Out. All the way around until I get back to the other side. Okay. So we've got one done there. Ignore all my unwoven ends. procrastinate that. Okay. And what I normally do is I fold the dice bag in half so I can see where the other side is, the exact other side. And there we go. So now I want to put the other drawstring between these two holes. And so I'm going to start by going in this one, then just doing the same thing until I get back around. So I go in, and out. Out. Okay. So now, it's looking like a dice bag. Okay, you have two strings here. There we go, it functions. Looks like an eyeball. Okay, but you're going to want to put a knot into the two ends. Okay, so you see here, got two ends matching up on the side. Want to even them out the best you can so they're the same length. And what I like to do is just kind of wrap them. I'll try to show you. Wrap it over, just kind of pull through. That, make like a simple knot in the end. And just tighten it towards the end of the chains. Okay, yeah. That's what I'm going to do with this. Is I want to cut these little things off because I only want the chains. So just cut those off. Leave a little bit at the end so it doesn't undo. I want it to look something like that. So now that is not coming off the dice bag. So do the same to the other side. Okay, so now both of these drawstrings are knotted. The only thing left to do is to weave in all of those ends. Leave a comment if you're like me and you hate weaving in the ends. I will procrastinate this as much as I can. Or sometimes, I know this is a sin, but sometimes I will just tie it and cut it short, especially if it's inside of a dice bag like this. No one's gonna really see it. So sometimes I'll just tie two pieces together like that, maybe a triple knot to make it extra secure. I won't cut it too short. You know, I should really weave these in, but you nobody got time for that. And then I just cut it at that. Because again, it's inside the dice bag. No one's really gonna see it. Right, if you're gonna be gifting this to somebody, then yeah, I would say weave in the end to make it look really nice for them. But if it's just for you, and you're the only one that's gonna be really seeing it, I would say this is fine. That's just me. You can leave your comments down below if you have a different opinion. That's fine too. But however, with the center piece right here, the center of the black yarn, you're gonna want to weave that in. And also, here, I'll show you my trick here. Yarn. Oh, I put it back in the container. You like my Altoids box? It's perfect for holding all the little notions. Okay. So it's going to be a little bit difficult to see, so I'll try my best to explain. Thread the needle. And put tight so it closes the slip knot there, or the magic circle, whatever you use. And then you're just going to want to weave through until you get to the edge of the black yarn here, where your other piece of black yarn is. Okay. And then tie those together, the two black yarns together, and that will just make it extra secure so that circle at the bottom is not going to open up. Okay? And oh, again, you can weave these in if you want. Just hate weaving in, so I will avoid it if I can. This one up here, you have to weave that in. So let's do that. Right, and there we go. You now have an eyeball dice bag that can hold, forgot about these, that can hold plenty of dice, coins, whatever you want to use this for. It makes a perfect gift. It should take you 2 hours or less to make this. Okay? After you made it one, you'll probably make another one even faster. There we go. Tie it at the end, and it looks like an eyeball. Creepy, cute, perfect for the D&D player in your life, or just somebody who likes eyeballs. I don't know. Either way, I hope you liked this tutorial, and I will see you again in my next video.